Hey there folks, welcome back for another video, and I got my partner Lexi here. Leroy's upstairs. He likes to run upstairs and see what's going on, but this one hardly ever leaves me. She is a sweet, sweet girl. She rarely leaves me, and she is just fantastic. Lexi. Okay, Lexi. All right. I poured myself a little bit of Lagavulin 16, which is phenomenal stuff. It's a peat bomb, so if you like Isla whiskeys, this is phenomenal. Excellent stuff in the, I think it's called Nording glass. Fantastic. Oh, this is a beautiful peat bomb, I'm telling you. Absolutely superb. Okay, what are we going to talk about today? A number of things. First, I want to talk about a project that I've been working on with Peter Wolf. You're aware of the Black Wolf knot, which I'm going to show you here. I just got this yesterday. Busta doesn't have one, by the way. Wait. Oh. Catch my breath for a minute. Sorry, Busta. That's my Busta taunt for this video. Have to do it in every video. Anyway, working with Peter Wolf on a very special project. I can't talk a lot about it right now. The brush, as of yet, not released, but will be soon. It's going to be called the AirWolf. And it's dedicated to me. You know, you remember the old Airblade foolishness that went on about a couple years ago. We're going to have our AirWolf brush from Peter Wolf, and that's going to be awesome. So stay on the lookout for that. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the community. And I have to say, it's been a beautiful time the last month or so. Everybody's just having fun. You know, we talk about blooming. Finally, we've gotten over that. Everybody's like, you know, bloom or anti-bloom, fighting about it. Now it's just, we joke about it. If you want to bloom, you bloom. If you don't, you don't. You know, it's okay either way. My goal was always just to put the information out there. Here's what can happen. And now we laugh about it. It's fun. The same thing with dents in the tins. You know, I don't like dents in the tins. But if you don't mind dents in your tins, it's okay. There's no problem with it. But I'm always going to speak my mind on those sort of things. You know, it's just the way it is. And a lot of people wanted me to mention the brand, but I didn't think it was fair because I did not buy this directly from the artisan. So it could have been damaged in transit. It could have been damaged by the vendor. Who knows? But, you know, tins get dented. It happens. That's just what goes on. But it's been a beautiful time in the group, especially Razor and Brush. We have had so much fun. In fact, Zach Plavridis commissioned a soap because back during the election race, those debates, we had live chats going on, and it was wonderful. He commissioned a soap, huge, and it's orange and huge, or huge and orange, I don't remember, with Donald Trump's face on it. Just a joke thing. It's not for sale. He commissioned it to give to the people who participated in that debate. And here's what I like about Chris Cullen. He does things like this, and he knows people are going to whine about not being able to get it. And he was like, hey, Zach Plavridis commissioned a soap. Sorry. You know, it was for the people who participated. And that's not because he wants to exclude other people. It's because someone commissioned a soap. And Chris Cullen is the type of guy, he's good to his word. He does what he says he's going to do, and he does it his own way. And he really, he cares about his customer, but he doesn't care about people who whine. And I like that about him. That's why I'll continue buying his soaps. And believe me, he doesn't care when I whine either. When I butcher the name of his soaps, when I say they're dopey, when I can't pronounce them, he does. Look, he and I are friends. He wants me to buy soaps, of course, but I consider him to be a friend. But he doesn't care when I whine about it. He just doesn't. He is not affected by groupthink. He's immune to the kind of thing that other artisans kowtow to. And so I say, Chris Cullen, take a bow. Wonderful job. And many, many others. I remind you once again, get the book, How to Make Shaving Soap by Carrie Seibert. Still available on Amazon. Review it if you get it. It is wonderful. You're not going to be a soap making expert after you get that book, but it's worth a read. There are people like that in this hobby that make it so enjoyable. So enjoyable. And it has been really enjoyable. And I've been making videos lately like crazy because I just really have been enjoying it. And I've been enjoying you folks who are participating, who are emailing, not only for the giveaways, but the material that I'm receiving. Sometimes it's very heartfelt, personal stories, and it means a lot to me. I gotta tell you, some of the stories I've gotten about what people have fallen into when they get into wet shaving, in a good way, I should say, stumbled into, let's put it that way, and how it's changed their lives. I mean, you think about, it's just shaving, but it means so much to so many people. And people who don't do it don't really understand it, but those who do get it. And a lot of times people fight and bicker. And to me, that's not drama. Drama in wet shaving to me has been, the equivalent of the word racist when it's used improperly. That is to say, when people call someone a racist who's never demonstrated any racist tendencies or has never treated anybody poorly, they say you're a racist just to shut down an argument, just to bring things to a standstill. The same thing, I think, has been happening with the word drama. They go, it's drama. This is a drama post. You can have pointed debate. You can have substantive discussion, and you don't have to agree. Whether it be about blooming or a particular brand, it always becomes an issue when it becomes personal. When you begin to talk about people and get personal with people. When you're talking about the products and you're going back and forth, there's a give and take there, and that's okay. But what tends to happen now is, we have the zealots that we all know about. And if you talk about a particular brand, the zealots come out and go, drama, drama, drama. And they try to, as I've said before, discredit who's ever making the point and so forth. But lately, people have gotten over that, it seems, at least in the places where I am. And it's been wonderful. We've had a great time. We bust each other's chops. So I want to take the time again to invite you folks to Razor and Brush. The URL is right there. If you are on Facebook, come on in and join us. Come on in with a real profile. We do not have, or don't like to have kids playing on the internet with fake profiles, just trying to be a zealot or prove a point. I mean, we want real individuals. We want you to come in. We want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. We want to get to know you. A lot of people say that, the people in these groups aren't really friends because some of them have never met. Stand by just a moment. Let's take another small snort. Excuse me. This sinus thing is still going, but I've almost gotten rid of it. I know I'm supposed to nose this, but I'm just drinking to save a little time. Anyway, there are folks, some of whom I've never met, that are my friends. We talk day in, day out. Now, some I have met. Busta, Zach, Tom, Ray, David Gonzalez, you name it, even Douglas Smythe. And look, it's no secret. I stopped using Phoenix products for personal reasons. But I don't hold that against Douglas Smythe. A lot of people would like me to, but I don't. And, the other day I was talking about my cold and he chimed in with something. And I thought it was very nice of him. You can separate business from personal. And, I'm not doing business with Phoenix, but I've never asked anyone else not to do business with Phoenix. If you want to, you should. And you should base it on your own experience with Phoenix. Not because I don't. I have never asked anybody to boycott. And I want to make that clear because it reminded me the other day when he was, trying to help me that, we're all just people. And life really is too short for bitterness. Now, that said, when I don't like something, when I see something that I think is wrong, when I think there's a danger to you in terms of your products, I'm going to tell you about it. And I'm going to be pointed in my conversation. But it's not personal. It's not because I don't like someone. My personal feelings, I usually try to leave out. Now, sometimes it creeps in, but for the most part, I keep that out. And Douglas is still a friend of mine on Facebook. We still talk. And I wish him success, and Fran. It has never been a personal thing for me. And I'm making this point because I want everybody to know that this is the way I am. Look, there are several brands I don't use. It's not personal. I wish those folks success. I make a business decision that it's not right for me. Right, that's all. I don't ask anyone to join me in that. So please, base your experience on your own experience with the artisan. If they treat you well, if the product is good, then it's good. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. And that's probably the best advice I can give. And don't be, thrown off by the zealots on one hand who try to come in and make everything great, buy a brand, and then on the other hand, the people who poo-poo everything. There's a lot of that, so you have to wade through it. But on the other hand, getting back to what I was talking about, there's a lot of fun that you can experience in these groups and in this community. And I want to invite you in. I want to invite you to email me. You see my address at the end of every email. Shoot me an email if you want to ask a question. I'm there for you. I will respond when I can. Sometimes I get busy and so forth. Now on Facebook, don't send me personal messages unless we are really friends. I can't keep up with all the mediums. All right, so I try not to use Facebook Messenger too much just because it becomes annoying. Email me and I will get back to you. It might take a little time, but I will. That is my commitment to you. Every now and then, emails get hung up in spam, and so that can happen. But I really do answer them. And if I see when they go to junk or something, I'll try to respond. Sometimes it's later than I would like. So I invite you in to join this wonderful community. Please feel free to have a good time. Just be decent. That's all we ask. Be decent. And if you can sort of follow that golden rule, which is what Zach Plavridis has tried to make the standard in the Razor Brush Facebook group, it works well. And there are people who really go at each other. Like Ray Pope will give me hell. And I'll give it to other people, Busta and I and all the rest of it. But it's never personal. And so if you keep that in mind, I think you'll have a wonderful experience. So I invite you to come and join us. And we'll have a little toast. There's not much left. But here's to your health and wishing you many wonderful shaves. And that is fantastic. So thank you once again for joining me. I know I've had a lot of videos recently. I've just been in a mood. There'll be times where I am not, but this is very enjoyable. And I want to remind Busta one more time. You don't have one. You don't have one. Childish, 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 turning for Busta. I know it's childish. I had to do it. I'm sorry. No. You guys have a wonderful day. Until next time, let's make America shave again.